Hey guys, it's Maria Eckersley from MeckMom, and I wanted to talk to you about the upcoming Easter video from Mormon.org entitled Prince of Peace. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's designed to illustrate the life of Christ and talk about the different ways that he brought peace or taught us how to incorporate more peace into our lives. And as I thought about how I could share it and what I could do to kind of spread that message, I was thinking back on all the times in my life where I felt a lack of peace. Times when I felt nervous or hesitant to move forward into the next phase of life. And I started to notice a trend. I thought I'd share it with you. Let me just illustrate it for you. First off, you have my freshman year of college. When I was nervous, I didn't know how it was gonna go. It was my first time away from home for an extended period of time. And as I go into my ugly little dorm room, I find my mom has made my bed with this. It's this beautiful quilt that she made for me for my first year of college, so that as I'm heading into this new adventure, I'd have a little bit of home with me. And I've kept it ever since. Fast forward a few years later, and you get another piece by my mom, Sally. She made this gigantic queen size quilt for me for my wedding. And because she wanted me to kind of be wrapped up in the love of all the women around me, she had all of the women in my life come and do the quilting on it. So she spread it out in the basement and had all 6 of my sisters and the young women leaders in my ward and other people in my life that loved me come and hand stitch the quilting in it, so that as I moved to Ohio right after I got married, I'd have a little bit of them with me. Fast forward another couple years, and you get these two. These were both made by my husband's great-grandmas to welcome our first kids into our lives. Again, another phase where I was nervous and a little overwhelmed and not sure what to do. When my daughter came into the world, I got this from his grandma, Barbara, who made it to wrap her up on her blessing day and has wrapped up all of our daughters since then. I also got this beautiful one from his grandma, Bernice, who made this for the boys in our family. So all 3 boys have been wrapped in this on their blessing day. Fast forward many, many years, and honestly many quilts later, and you get this year. This Christmas, my beautiful mother-in-law Ellen made this, which is this handmade quilt that she gave to us as my husband was entering into the hard part of his chemo round, just to give us a little bit of comfort and peace and, quite frankly, warmth to kind of help him through those times. And I cherish it. So I'm looking at all these handmade things from all these great women in my life, and I find myself thinking, why did they take the time? I don't sew very well. And so I admire this and sort of fear it and thought, why do they do it? And it occurs to me that at all those phases in my life, you know, when I have my first baby and when I'm heading off to be married and get my first apartment and my heading into chemo, things like that, all of these great women wanted to be with me. They wanted to wrap their arms around me. They wanted to tell me it was going to be okay, but they physically couldn't. So instead they took hours and hours of time to make me feel that way in fabric or in yarn. And it's just this beautiful sentiment. They literally stitched me peace. So I thought this season, as you're going into your Easter and you want to spread the good news about the gospel, that maybe you could go through your bins, go through your closets, go through your trunks, and pull out the things that were made for you. Talk about on social media, whatever platform is comfortable to you, how that piece, that art, that, you know, fabric, that whatever it is, brought you lasting peace, or maybe how it brought you closer to Christ. And that as you do that, we can kind of share a little bit of these amazing people who create things, and then also share more about the message of the gospel. So if you're comfortable, I hope you'll include a link to the Mormon.org video, or at least the Mormon.org homepage, so that others can figure out more about the ultimate Prince of Peace. So I hope this year we celebrate the peacemakers, and by doing that, we celebrate the Prince of Peace. And I hope you enjoy your Easter.